Okay, so I basically, not basically, so I finally create another live stream in a single day again, even though I'm actually used to create this, I'm actually used to do this kind of things previously, but I think it will be the longest duration that I've ever done in a single day for a live stream or broadcast or podcast or whatever that is, even though this was actually stream almost 3 hours later since the previous live stream. So I definitely need to take a rest for a while and also do several other things such as the recording of another good behavior perhaps, or even doing in good behavior without any recording, or even try to create the Animoji for the latest footage that I recently recorded for the unboxing of my steering wheel that I basically mentioned before on the previous stream. So yeah, I just don't know what kind of things that I basically wanted to talk about in this time, because for some reason some of the feelings or things that I basically currently experience in my mind is already kind of like explained in the previous stream, even though it's obviously hard to be understand, because yeah, even myself is hard to explain it into words. I don't know, because yeah, obviously it is hard for me to talk in a language other than my native, even if I basically try to create a content with my own native language, it's not gonna be immediately better or more fluent, because yeah, for some reason doing something without any script or just impromptu, it's just pretty hard, especially when you just see the dashboard of your current stream or monitor the things that you basically see, and not really, I don't know, important perhaps, because yeah, unlike all of my recorded footage, it is basically try to be focused or maybe get inspiration from the video itself, but creating a live stream is just another level of difficulty, even though yeah, all of my recorded footage is obviously impromptu without any script as well, but yeah, it's just very different, because I actually wanted to explain many things that I basically had, especially the digital data collection that I've basically tried to collect for a certain period of time that I basically can remember, but it's pretty hard because, or pretty lazy to do, because maybe I just need to record the footage separately or try to record at the same time but using two different kind of applications. So the Animoji will be recorded using OBS, since I'm just still not know how to combine the footage and also the Animoji in the single record, because yeah, the black background is still cannot be considered as a green screen. So the share screen footage will be on the Zoom application, and I don't know whether I will try to create those kind of content or not, because I definitely need to prepare my data collection first, because yes, some of them are not really complete, so I don't know, maybe it is actually enough to be created as a content, I'm not sure. So yeah, what else did I basically want to talk about? So yeah, I just don't know what kind of things that I basically want to talk about, because yeah, maybe I'm just already talk so much, or even though yeah, or maybe I'm already pretty tired, because this was actually the first live stream that I tried to do it in pretty night time, even though I basically like to join certain or doing some productivity at late night, but talking to myself in the late night, it's definitely not an easy thing, perhaps, I'm not sure. So yeah, I definitely need some inspiration that's basically can motivate me to talk about something. But let me think for a while I'm actually try to keep talking, because yeah, it's will pretty weird stream if I basically just suddenly quiet for quite a long time until I finally figure it out what kind of topics that I basically want to continue to be in the same broadcast. So yeah, and I'm not sure whether when will I basically able to do this kind of live stream again, especially during night time, because I used to do or prepare an emoji during a night time, but yeah, it was not have a long time, or I don't know what can I don't know how to explain this. It's basically I'm just out of words for some reason. So I just it's basically just try to continue a little bit until it finally finish, because yeah, during nighttime usually there are a little bit more interruption rather than during the daytimes, if I basically have an unintentional free time, perhaps. So yeah, and probably since it is pretty rare to do this kind of podcast, so I will try to make this Animoji as the episode of 100, even though I basically only got 50 episodes. But yeah, I'm actually wanted to make the same live stream as much as my unboxing video or Animoji gaming video, but it seems to be pretty hard, because I always struggle to, I don't know, talking about what kind of topic that I basically want to talk about if I already tried to create a single live stream which basically already covers the things that I basically want to represent or want to speak up, in order to clear up my mind, perhaps, for not try for only try to keep it on my mind. So I don't know what. Once again, I don't know whether it is actually the correct sentence to describe it, but yeah. Oh well, yeah, it's already 9 minutes, which is, I don't know whether it is going to be as long as the previous live stream or not, because the previous live stream is actually have a false interruption, because obviously I was still have a lot of free times, but yeah, I just want to make sure whether I will not get interrupted, so that's the reason why I tried to stop the stream previously. So this time I'm actually able to do it until I finally got interrupted for real, but yeah, I don't know, it will be pretty hard for me to find the topics that I basically want to talk about, and I basically keep saying that over and over again, and it's still not giving me any inspiration that basically long enough to be explained in this about in this video, I will try to stop this streaming and try to do another good behavior recording again, even though I basically already tried to do it pretty much quite more than enough for this day, even though yeah, it's been a while that I basically not doing good behavior before going to bed, so that's the reason why I actually wanted to exchange it, even though it's definitely will never be enough, because at some point, even when I basically try to do the good behavior before going to bed, it will be pretty little, so that's the reason why in order to exchange it, it's definitely going to be very big, especially when there's uncertainty in the future whether I am basically able to do that, to do more of it, or at least the same amount of good behavior or not in the future. Because yeah, at some point I basically feel tired before even start to do those good behavior, even though yeah, doing good behavior is definitely gonna make me tired and make me confident to sleep, perhaps, I'm not sure. So yeah, it's pretty bright using the light, so it's just making my eyes a little bit itchy, even though yeah, I've basically already tried to still consume the allergy medicine or medication, which I just don't know the whether what is actually the root cause of my allergy, because yeah, I basically need to consume every 4 days once, even though it's basically too long for me, because at some point in the second or the third day before I eventually consume the medication again, it's already feel not really convenient of my body, even though yeah, it's basically depend on what kind of foods that I eat as well, and maybe what kind of things that I basically think about, because probably it's just a very complex process that's maybe triggered by various kind of things, whether it is food or even stress, I'm not sure. So yeah, but I'm just try to be grateful about it, because at some point I always try to see a content. Obviously, I'm always try to watch YouTube every day, even though I basically keep uploading YouTube videos as well. But yeah, the videos that I basically prefer is just the one that basically make me inspire, perhaps, I'm not sure, but inspire in terms of, I don't know, seeing the world that is not as good as it used to be, because yeah, there are so many bad things happen in this world, and for some reason it's just so hard to be solved. So that's the reason why it is also the reason why I basically try to be grateful with my current condition, because I just can't imagine whether if I basically try to live in those position, because yeah, it's may not physically unfortunate, but it was environmentally unfortunate. So because yeah, there are so many people that physically unfortunate as well, and it's actually very hard as well, which I just cannot imagine. But having an environmental fortunate is actually can be solved if there is maybe some people who can basically bring balance to the world, like the one that was said on some of the animation show. And but yeah, obviously it was, I happens to the world is probably during the end of this world. Perhaps, I'm not sure. So, all, all we can do is just try to be patient and just hope for them to have a better life. Maybe pray for them or support, even though, yeah, no matter how much support that we can give, I think it will always be not enough for them because, yeah, politics is just very hard to be solved, especially when it comes to a very powerful nation, perhaps, or even with not a very powerful nation. It's still basically hard because it will definitely trigger a war if we really try to force changing those situations. So yeah, it will definitely not going any better, just like what every war were meant to be. So yeah, that's the reason why the war that was still happening right now in some countries is actually will not be beneficial for all of the sides that was actually conducted a war. Maybe the only things that was get benefit from is actually the third side. Perhaps, I'm not sure whether it's actually the correct word to describe it. So yeah, because there always be some other things that try to utilize or, I don't know, get used to with the situations, even though it was not meant to be utilized. So it's already 17 minutes and it's just getting hard. The topic is pretty hard for me to explain, especially when I try to do it alone or monologue, because yeah, it's the most of the videos that was actually tried to explain is usually need to be prepared first, even for native people that has an English language as their main or first language to speak. So for me, that was basically not the first language, even though it was actually the second one that I tried to learn. But yeah, it's still technically hard, especially for me, who basically pretty much an antisocial person, or the people who just basically not like to speak to the crowd or to the public. So yeah, doing it virtually is actually make me a little bit convenient. It's not convenient, it's actually making me a little bit more confidence. But yeah, it's still definitely not enough for my mind to, I don't know what kind of words that I forgot about the words, to set up the words into a sentences in order to represent what kind of things that I basically want to talk about from my mind. I don't know whether you can understand what I have basically said all this time during, I don't know how many videos that I basically already made, whether it is Animoji gaming or unboxing video or even this kind of motivation live stream. But yeah, it's definitely, there is something that can be understand because yeah, for some reason if we try to hurt something from the people who basically not really good at English as well, it is actually still pretty much understandable, maybe because they were trying to force describing something using the word that pretty much obvious, not sure. So even though it was not the correct word to explain it, but at least it still can be understood. So because yeah, that was actually the purpose of language, is to understand, and to understand is actually a very deep meaning, because for some reason many things that can be described differently from first kind of view. So that's the reason why many people's will actually never find the real truth or the real correct answer to something, as long as it was not really happened to all of them. So yeah, I just keep struggle thinking about what kind of words to correctly describe it. And maybe because it's already 21 minutes that I basically try to do this live stream, and I think I will try to end it, because yeah, it's getting unnecessary